if you were a vehicle that is carrying your consciousness, which you are, or if you were a car, for instance, an infusion would be similar to an oil change. You are a vehicle. You're nothing but a vehicle that is carrying your consciousness through time, space, and gravity. And as you go through these years of life, you accumulate things inside your system that do need to be flushed as you get older. And since now medical science has advanced to a point where we have doubled and tripled your lifespan, it becomes a very important step in preservation of your health and wellness to find places which can help you replenish your nutrients and minerals. Hello everyone, this is Dr. Din at your service. And we are here today as I'm waiting for my next client to answer some more questions, because guess what? When TikTok died, I realized that I have not gone as much live as I wanted to. And when it was rebirthed, I finally realized that I should be going live more often, and here I am. And I'm going to try and go live every single day, even if it is for a little bit, as part of my New Year resolution. And the purpose of me going live with you guys is basically to answer questions. I get questions asked every single day, and I try to answer them, but sometimes, they just get lost in translation. So that's what we need. If you don't know who I am, I'm a longevity doctor. So people ask me all the time, how did I become who I became? What is a longevity doctor? And how do you become a longevity doctor? So longevity is like doctors who are committed and devoted to you not only living a very long lifespan, but also to put the quality of life in your lifespan. So your lifespan may be a long lifespan, but the health that lasts in that lifespan is limited. So not all of your life is spent with health at this particular time in life. So what we end up doing is that we are basically the people who assist you in making the most out of your health span and basically increasing your health span in your lifespan. So how do you do that? That is usually a combination of things that you do on your own in your homes, and there are certain other things that you need to come and see the doctor for. So I am the person that you come and see. You have, when you're following the suggestions of a longevity medicine doctor. So people like me are devoted to your health and your wellness. We do not wait until you fall sick to give you a medication and then keep you on that medication forever. We are the people who would rather that you never fall sick, and to remove all the obstacles that lay between you reclaiming your health. So that is the purpose.
I have a question.
Yes.
PRP.
Mm.
Can you do just using the PRP either breast lift or butt lift?
With the PRP?
Uh-huh.
So usually, PRP is platelet-rich plasma. What is that? So first of all, let me explain that. So platelet-rich plasma is a product of your blood. We basically draw your blood, we spin it in a centrifuge, we take away the chaff, and we take the liquid, the clear liquid that we derive from your own blood products, and what that carries is like very important minerals, nutrients, growth factors, and stem cells from your own body that are then directly injected into areas of your body that you want to grow or improve or enhance enhance. So sometimes PRP works beautifully if we are injecting it into your hair follicles that may be dying, and it's like a direct deposit of minerals and nutrients that your hair follicles need, because sometimes directly from your blood and from your gut, things just don't get to the top layer of your scalp. At other times, these products can be mixed with some other products that can create a lift and even a more holistic improvement in a certain area. For example, if you have some defect in the cushioning of your butt and you don't want to do any surgical things with it, what we would tell you to do is to take some Sculptra, which is a product, which is a kind of a crystal that we place into your body to grow your own fat cells. We sometimes mix the PRP with Sculptra to create a lift in your different cushionings of your body, because it will create the padding, inner padding under your skin by yourself. However, PRP has many limitations. For instance, if you're already old, if you're old and your blood is already deficient in minerals and nutrients, your blood is not going to generate growth factors that will create some kind of a miraculous result for your system. Because to produce the magic, even your own body needs the nourishment. So sometimes before we start treatments like hair restoration or any other kind of restoration, I always advise people to do a few rounds of intravenous supplementation so that your blood starts becoming fresher and has all the nutrients that it can produce. It's like you put the things in it that creates that nourishment for your system. Now, sometimes that also may not be enough. So for those people who are like, okay, PRP, I've tried it, but it isn't like giving me those kind of results that I want, and I want to see how far I can go. For those people, we suggest other products, which are basically stem cells that are not from them. These are stem cells that are created from other sources, other human sources, and those are the things that I would suggest at that time. So those are more expensive. These are expensive options, and can do their work? Yes, they do. However, again, you have to spend all of these medications or all of these longevity products and details and protocols are out-of-pocket costs. These are not covered by your insurance, so just be aware of that. So yes, do they work? Yes, they do, but you have to make sure that you're at the right place and you're with people who are giving you stuff that is cleared by FDA. These are, make sure that you go to places which are run by and managed by doctors who know what they're doing. So yes, we have used PRP for increasing the size of your boob. It's non-surgical. And then but however, because this is your own blood product, you don't need that many clearances. However, should you be using stem cells from another person, like placental day 0 cells, if you are using those stem cells, for use of those stem cells, I would suggest that before you do it, you have to make sure that you get clearances from your medical doctors. And if your medical doctors cannot do it, you have to go find other doctors who will provide you with these clearances. And they require stuff like blood work. Like if you're doing a breast enhancement, you want to make sure that you have a mammogram, you have ultrasounds, making sure that everything is okay for you to get these treatments. Because remember, any stem cell, any extraneous product that you're placing inside your system can create side effects, can create autoimmune reactions also. So you have to make sure that you're doing it with great care. Okay.
How many treatments you need?
For stem cells, you need like 2 to 3 treatments. Everything, human body is such that there is really nothing that is one and done. It works. Things get better in small steps. These small, tiny steps lead to the change in the overall outcomes. And that's why you want to, so everything is like 3 to 4 treatments, and you have to be patient with your body. You have to allow yourself the space and the grace to wait and allow your body to bring you the results that you're wanting it to. Many times I see people give up and do a negative self-talk, where your body is just a processor of your own thoughts. And sometimes if you're completely negative about something, you're just creating obstacles in your own path, because your body's like, your body listens to you. Even if outside people do not listen to you, your own body listens to you saying things to it. So if you're doing treatments like this, I also want you to also know that please only try to do things that you believe in then, so that you do not have a negative self-talk to yourself. Because one of the things that hurt people the most is their own self-talk, not the talks of others. Even though, I mean, there are also people who get impacted by other people's stuff, but what you do to you is usually the most important and can be the most harmful also. So, I always remind everyone to please be nice to yourself. To thy own self be good and kind. What is the cost of an IV infusion session, and do you offer packages? Well, not all infusions are created equal. And the cost of an infusion is usually a combination of the person who is preparing it for you, to how experienced that person is. It also depends upon what they are adding into that infusion. So an infusion that has not too many things in it, it should not cost you that much. But an infusion which is a cocktail of what your body needs, it usually should have at least 15 to 20 different things that we are like right now. The infusion that we are making at our office has like at least 25 different things in it, and we're not done. We still are looking for new elements to combine with this monthly process. So intravenous infusions are basically water soluble nutrients, minerals, and vital amines that your body really needs. And these are antioxidants and stuff that will be very beneficial for your system. If you were a vehicle that is carrying your consciousness, which you are, or if you were a car, for instance, an infusion would be similar to an oil change. You are a vehicle. You're nothing but a vehicle that is carrying your consciousness through time, space, and gravity. And as you go through these years of life, you accumulate things inside your system that do need to be flushed as you get older. And since now medical science has advanced to a point where we have doubled and tripled your lifespan, it becomes a very important step in preservation of your health and wellness to find places which can help you replenish your nutrients and minerals. Because not everybody can eat all these minerals and nutrients just by mouth, because some of these minerals that are super important for us, like vitamin C, like all the B vitamins, like glutathione, like magnesium, these are basically water soluble, and they get denatured in your stomach acid. And as the gut biome receives these denatured molecules, the gut biome does not allow, it fails to recognize these very important nutrients, and it doesn't allow it to enter your system, because your gut biome is supposed to protect you, from what you put inside. So it only takes in things that it considers important and that it recognizes as safe. So if your vital amines, which are these very fragile, tiny molecules that your skin and hair require on a routine basis, or your immune system requires on a routine basis, it fails to get to the end organs, And one of the things that I routinely get into discussions with my colleagues is when they say that vitamins don't work, I tell them that vitamins work, and the only vitamins that don't work are the ones that we're taking the wrong way. So if there is something that needs to be placed in directly into your vein where it bypasses your gut, that thing, if you're taking continuously by mouth, of course it's not gonna get to the end organ, and of course you're not gonna see any benefit of it. And usually I see people who are trying to be very healthy. However, what do? They take like a mountain of pills every day. And when you take a mountain of pills which are water soluble, you're basically pissing away all of that water soluble stuff. However, the stuff that stays in your system are the preservatives that oral vitamins carry. So that is one of the reasons that I'm kind of not a big fan of oral vitamins. Now, I do know that some of the vitamins that we take have to be oral, and those are fat soluble vitamins like vitamin A, D, and K2. You should take it yourself orally. Go buy it off of Amazon. They have amazing combinations, pills that you can take. And some of them are from very good companies that are they're sourced very carefully, and they provide you with adequate doses, so you will not be lacking and deficient in them. Another nutrient that I always like people to take orally are the mushrooms, the dynamic mushrooms. These are combinations of 5 or 6 different mushrooms that are very important for your brain health. And these are not psychedelic mushrooms, by the way. These are mushrooms that are just very good for your brain health. And it's very hard to go and buy 5, 6 different kinds of mushrooms and chop them up and eat them every single day in your omelet, because who's got time for that? However, this tiny little capsule that you take will carry adequate doses, and that is also something, because one of the problems that you will have if you're a young person, you may not have that problem, but when you are going to become old, one of the things that will fall apart is your brain. That the carrier, the processor of your thoughts, the creator of your reality, your brain, which is the purpose that holds your consciousness and that helps you carry the things that your core needs to do, needs protection. And sometimes many of the damage and brain health problems don't start occurring later in life. They are usually diseases of middle age. So in your 40s and 50s, you have to be very careful of what you're consuming and what you're putting inside your body. So those are the things that you take orally. However, many of the things are intravenous, and you have to find the person, your doctor, your healthcare provider, who should be well versed in this. And if they're not, you should tell them to go and take some courses, because those are very easily available now. See, the thing is that when you do need preservatives in some oral medications, because it's very hard to, make those bottles and then keep them on a shelf, because, it would be very, very difficult to find those products. But there are some which are, for especially vitamin A, D, K, and the mushrooms. I can always list the one that I like is on Amazon. It's by Stonehenge, and the vitamin ADK is by which one? I am. Hold 1 second. I'm gonna look it up on my other phone. So I like the code age. So this is the one that I have in my office. Like, I always keep one in the office and one at home. But there is another one. It's by Bulletproof. And they're also very good, and they have like several other supplements too. So that those companies, they are very careful in sourcing, and they're committed to bringing their followers good quality stuff. So that's a good place. What's your favorite laser treatments for anti-aging? So during wintertime, I like most favorite laser treatment is a BBL. It's a broad-based light treatment. It's very cool. There's like hardly any downtime, and it does its work. I loved it for myself because I suffered from rosacea, and I tried everything in the world to stop myself from breaking out, from turning like a red tomato. And this thing, it was a series of 3 lasers and maintenance laser once a year. And I've never had that outbreak again. It's been over 12 years. Rosacea is a thing of past for me. And I love it. So that's my personal favorite. However, I do have a lot of other lasers. The machine, the device, the energy device that is my favorite is not a laser is a anti-aging device that harnesses the energy of light. However, the device that I personally like a lot is a device that harnesses the energy of sound. And what it does is that it tightens and lifts your skin from its chronic skin failure. It basically reprograms your skin and bends time back in your favor. And it is recommended once or twice a year. And when you're older, you might need to do it a little more frequently. However, that is my most favorite treatment. It is something that is going to make cosmetic surgery almost like not necessary. And I tell everyone that chronic skin failure has to be prevented with things. And this is one of those front runners in prevention of chronic skin failure. Zero downtime, non-surgical, not very uncomfortable. Yes, you need some pain management with it because it is like a sewing machine for your skin. It doesn't break the barrier of your skin, but it feels like a little laser-like. As if you've ever had like a hair removal laser, you'd see that it gives you like a little jolt. However, it's basically a frequency of sound that we're placing under the skin, and it basically reprograms your cells, and it just reverses the age of your skin wherever you give it. I love to use this treatment in conjunction with the infusions. And yes, this treatment is necessary definitely for your face. I've done it on off-label on the other parts of the body like stomach and boobs and butt and arms. However, the reason you need to do it on your face is because your skin of your face is constantly expanding. And throughout life, you will find that your skin is going to expand. And you cannot just fill the defects of your skin with hyaluronic acid fillers and Botox, because you will see that if you don't tighten skin and lift it non-surgically, you will start eventually looking like a cushion face, which is like a fluffy looking appearance, and people look like, why are they so bulky looking? And the reason behind that is usually that they've not tightened the skin, and they just keep filling it, and it starts looking very weird at a certain point, and you don't want that look. Okay.
I saw a question there. What is your relationship with?
What is my relationship?
Yeah.
I have a relationship question. Are you talking about my relationships now? So kintsugi is like just a laser. I named it for one of my lasers, and it's a microneedling with a radio frequency laser. Kintsugi is like this Japanese art form where if a vessel breaks, they put it back together by using another element like gold. And that putting back together of a broken vessel makes it like not only unique, but also way more beautiful than before and way more costly than before. So kintsugi is my name that I kept for the treatments that we offer for stretch marks, because I see a lot of women, and when women go through childbirth, when they go from size changes where they are tiny and they produce a child and they expand and they contract and they expand and they contract, and at the end of it, they are left with these stretch marks, which sometimes can make them sad, because they disconnect them with the versions of themselves that they used to like, and they want to get their skin back. And that is something that this laser treatment helps them not only tighten and lift their skin, but also heal some of their scars. And I call it kintsugi because we're trying to, when a woman bears a child, she expands, and it's like as if the vessel breaks when she gives birth. And then bringing her back together for me is like kintsugi, and it does cost them money. However, they end up liking themselves because we bring them back with versions of their previous versions of selves that they were in love with. What was I doing when TikTok died? When TikTok was banned, this Sunday I was in Washington D.C. and I went with my partner. He had some friends who were having a party in Washington D.C. because this was a big weekend in Washington D.C. There was the inauguration, there was parties everywhere going on, and there was a lot happening. And I was part of the Washington D.C. scene, so I got so busy that even as a TikTok refugee, and I was like sad on one side, I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I have like so many people who come and see me over here, and I love going on this forum, and now it's no more. And I was so busy that by the time I was done with the party, TikTok was back on. So that's that. What are the biggest myths about weight loss medications like Ozempic? So, Ozempic is a kind of a GLP-1 agonist, and I am a very pro GLP-1 agonist person. GLP-1 agonists are like Botox for your fat cells. Just like we place Botox for your skin and it turns back time on your skin, similarly, GLP-1 agonists, your fat cells are an organ by themselves. They are forever cells in your body. They make up the underlining of your skin, but they also can be around your visceral structures, and they can also get inside your blood vessels, and some of them are bad cells because they can clog your blood vessels, making it difficult for your organs to get nutrients and oxygen and stuff, creating problems. So fat cells, when they get diseased, you have several issues. You can have issues like hypercholesterolemia, you can have issues like obesity, you can have issues like a fatty liver, which is unable to cleanse your system, and you feel tired and fatigued, and you have a metabolic slowdown. So GLP-1 agonists have been like miraculous. There are like 5 different kinds that are currently approved in United States, and we are still finding out new ones. So new ones are in the pipeline. However, the best one, which is semaglutide, is available, and I think everybody should be on it. However, you have to make sure that you are getting these medications from a doctor's office where somebody is going through the doses, because I have one of the things that I don't like about it is like I find people who are on such massive doses of GLP-1 agonists. Listen, too much of a good thing may not be that good for you. You have to, like, if you have a car that can go up to the speed of 250 miles per hour to take you from point A to point B, does that mean that you should go at 250 miles per hour? Because what's going to happen is that you're just going to destroy yourself or get into an accident. So similarly, when you get a medication and you want to be right away on the most massive dose of that medication, then you will just start getting side effects from it, which a lot of people did. So these medications, like anything else, even if you have a bottle of Tylenol and you start taking 20-30 pills every single day, you're going to destroy your liver. So similarly, these medications have to be dosed correctly and taken correctly. So the myth about it is that, oh yeah, it can do this and that. No, if you do it correctly, if you do it at a microdose, if you do it with care under supervision, it will only bring you good stuff. And the thing is that if one of them is not working, you can always move and find another one. For some person, if this sport is not working, if you're a user of an anti-aging medication like Botox or fillers, if one kind is not working, people always go and try another different kind to see which one works the best with their system. And there will always be something like that. Another thing that people ask me about GLP-1 agonists is that, can they make you lose hair? So yes, if these medications do turn down the volume of food noise that's in people, so you will be not eating as much food as you normally do. So at that point, you can get minerally deficient. You can lose hair if you lose your weight very rapidly. So at that point, you have to, that is one of the reasons that as you are doing these medications, you have to make sure that you're nourished and you are on supplements, intravenous and oral. Here. So I love you guys. Bye. I'll see you soon. And I'll come back tomorrow. Okay, bye. Bye.